This timeline of volcanism on Earth is a list of major volcanic eruptions of approximately at least magnitude 6 on the Volcanic Explosivity Index, or equivalent sulfur dioxide emission around the Quaternary period. Some cooled the global climate. The extent of this effect depends on the amount of sulfur dioxide emitted. The topic in the background is an overview of the VEI and sulfur dioxide emission. Volcanic winter relationship. Before the Holocene epoch, the criteria are less strict because of scarce data availability, partly since later eruptions have destroyed the evidence. So, the known large eruptions after the Paleogene period are listed, and especially those relating to the Yellowstone hotspot, the Santorini, and the Taupo volcanic zone. Only some eruptions before the Neogene period are listed. Active volcanoes such as Stromboli, Mount Etna and Kilauea do not appear on this list, but some back-arc basin volcanoes that generated calderas do appear. Some dangerous volcanoes in populated areas appear many times, so Santorini 6 times and Yellowstone hotspot 21 times. The Bismarck volcanic arc, New Britain, and the Taupo volcanic zone, New Zealand, appear often too. In order to keep the list manageable, the eruptions in the Holocene on the link Holocene volcanoes in Kamchatka aren't yet added, but they are listed in Peter L. Ward's supplemental table. Large Quaternary eruptions. The Holocene epoch begins 11,700 years BP. Since 1000 AD, Pinatubo Island of Luzon, Philippines, 1991, June 15, VEI 6 to 16 cubic kilometers of tephra, an estimated 20 million tons of CO2 were emitted. Novarupta, Alaska Peninsula, 1912, June 6, VEI 6, 13 to 15 cubic kilometers of lava. Santa Maria, Guatemala, 1902, October 24, VEI 6, 20 cubic kilometers of tephra. Krakatoa, Indonesia, 1883, August 26, 27, VEI 6, 21 cubic kilometers of tephra. Mount Tambora, Lesser Sunda Islands, Indonesia, 1815, April 10, VEI 7, 150 cubic kilometers of tephra, an estimated 200 million t of CO2 were emitted, produced the year without of summer. The mysterious 1810 event VEI 6 to 7, discovered from ice cores in the 1980s. Grímsvötn, northeastern Iceland, 1783 to 1785. Laki, 1783 to 1784. VEI 6, 14 cubic kilometers of lava, an estimated 120 million t of CO2 were emitted, produced a volcanic winter. 1783 on the North Hemisphere. Long Island, northeast of New Guinea, 1660 plus or minus 20. VEI 6, 30 cubic kilometers of tephra. Colombo, Santorini, Greece, 1650, September 27, VEI 5, 2 cubic kilometers of tephra. Huanaputina, Peru, 1600, February 19, VEI 6, 30 cubic kilometers of tephra. Billy Mitchell, Bougainville Island, Papua New Guinea, 1580 plus or minus 20. VEI 6, 14 cubic kilometers of tephra. Bathabunga, northeastern Iceland, 1477. VEI 6, 10 cubic kilometers of tephra. 1452 to 53. New Hebrides Arc, Vanuatu. The location of this eruption in the South Pacific is uncertain, as it has been identified from distant ice core records. The only pyroclastic flows are found at Q-Way, 36 to 96 cubic kilometers of tephra. 175 million - 700 million t of sulfuric acid. Quilatoa, Ecuador, 1280 VEI6, 21 cubic kilometers of tephra. Samalas volcano, Rinjani volcanic complex, Lombok Island, Indonesia, 1257, 40 cubic kilometers of tephra. Arctic and Antarctic ice cores provide compelling evidence to link the ice core sulfate spike of 1258-1259 AD to this volcano. Overview of Common Era. This is a sortable summary of major eruptions over the last 2,000 years with VEI6+. Date uncertainties, tephra volumes, and references are not included. Note: caldera names tend to change over time. For example, Okataina caldera, Hariharo caldera, Hariharo volcanic complex. Tarawera volcanic complex had the same magma source in the Taupo volcanic zone. Yellowstone caldera, Henry's Fork caldera, Island Park caldera, High's volcanic field had all Yellowstone hotspot as magma source. Earlier Quaternary eruptions 2.588 plus or minus 0.005 million years BP. The Quaternary period and Pleistocene epoch begin. Eiffel hotspot, Lacher See, Vulcan Eiffel, Germany, 12.9 car, VEI6, 6 cubic kilometers of tephra. Emmons caldera, Aleutian range, 17 car plus or minus 5, more than 50 cubic kilometers of tephra. Lake Barine, Atherton Tableland, North Queensland, Australia, was formed over 17 car. Menengai, East African Rift, Kenya, 29 car. Morne Diablotins, Commonwealth of Dominica, VEI6, 30 car. Ural Lake, Kamchatka Peninsula, Russia, Goligan eruption, about 41.5 car, VEI7. Maninjutsu caldera, West Sumatra, VEI7, around 52 car, 220 to 250 cubic kilometers of tephra. Lake Toba, Sumatra, Indonesia, VEI8, 73 car plus or minus 4, 2,500 to 3,000 cubic kilometers of tephra, probably 6 gigatons of sulfur dioxide were emitted. Atitlan caldera, Guatemalan highlands, Los Chocallos eruption, formed in an eruption 84 car, VEI7, 300 cubic kilometers of tephra. Mount Aso, island of Kyushu, Japan, 90 car, last eruption was more than 600 cubic kilometers of tephra. Sierra La Primavera volcanic complex, Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, 95 car, 20 cubic kilometers of talata. Mount Aso, island of Kyushu, Japan, 120 car, 80 cubic kilometers of tephra. Mount Aso, island of Kyushu, Japan, 140 car, 80 cubic kilometers of tephra. Puig-Sensi, Massif Central, Central France. It is part of an ancient stratovolcano which has been inactive for about 220,000 years. Emmons caldera, Aleutian range, 233 car, more than 50 cubic kilometers of tephra. Mount Aso, island of Kyushu, Japan, caldera formed as a result of 4 huge caldera eruptions, 270 car, 80 cubic kilometers of tephra. Uzon and Aru calderas, Kamchatka Peninsula, Russia, 325 to 175 car, 20 cubic kilometers of ignimbrite deposits. Diamante caldera, Maipo volcano complex, Argentina, Chile, 450 car, 450 cubic kilometers of tephra. Yellowstone hotspot, Yellowstone caldera, 640 car, VEI8, more than 1,000 cubic kilometers of tephra. Three Sisters, USA, Tumalo Volcanic Center, with eruptions from 600 to 700 to 170 car years ago. Ewing Carrot Volcanic Field, Arizona, Carolina, USA. The Colorado River was dammed by lava flows multiple times from 725 to 100 km. Mono County, California, USA. Long Valley Caldera, 758.9 km plus or minus 1.8 VEI 7, 600 cubic kilometers of Bishop Tuff. Valles Caldera, New Mexico, USA. Around 1.15 Mart VEI 7, around 600 cubic kilometers of the She Ridge Formation. Upper Bandelier eruption. Sutter Buttes, Central Valley of California, USA, were formed over 1.5 ma by a now extinct volcano. Ebasutoge Fukuda Tefras, Japan, 1.75 ma, 380 to 490 cubic kilometers of tephra. Yellowstone Hotspot, Island Park Caldera, 2.1 ma VEI 8, 2,450 cubic kilometers of Huckleberry Ridge Tuff. Cerro Galán, Catamarca Province, northwestern Argentina, 2.2 ma VEI 8, 1,050 cubic kilometers of Cerro Galán ignimbrite. Large Neogene eruptions. Pliocene eruptions approximately 5.332 million years BP. The Pliocene epoch begins. Most eruptions before the Quaternary period have an unknown VEI. Boring lava field. Boring, Oregon, USA. The zone became active at least 2.7 ma and has been extinct for about 300,000 years. Norfolk Island, Australia. Remnant of a basaltic volcano active around 2.3 to 3 ma. Pastis Grandes Caldera, Altiplano Puna Volcanic Complex, Bolivia, 2.9 ma VEI 7, more than 820 cubic kilometers of Pastis Grandes ignimbrite. Little Barrier Island, northeastern coast of New Zealand's North Island, it erupted from 1 million to 3 ma. Mount Kenya, a stratovolcano created approximately 3 ma after the opening of the East African Rift. Pacana Caldera, Altiplano Puna Volcanic Complex, northern Chile, 4 ma VEI 8, 2,500 cubic kilometers of Artana ignimbrite. Frailes Plateau, Bolivia, 4 ma 620 cubic kilometers of Frailes ignimbrite. Cerro Galán, Catamarca Province, northwestern Argentina, 4.2 ma 510 cubic kilometers of Rio Grande and Cueva Negra tephra. Yellowstone Hotspot, Highest Volcanic Field, Idaho, Kilgore Caldera, VEI 8, 1,800 cubic kilometers of Kilgore tuff, 4.45 ma plus or minus 0.05. Cari Caldera, Frailes Plateau, Bolivia, 5 ma 470 cubic kilometers of tephra. Miocene eruptions. Approximately 23.03 million years BP, the Neogene period and Miocene epoch begin. Cerro Guacha, Bolivia, 5.6 to 5.8 ma. Lord Howe Island, Australia. Mount Lidgebud and Mount Gower are both made of basalt rock, remnants of lava flows that once filled the large volcanic caldera. 6.4 ma. Yellowstone Hotspot, Highest Volcanic Field, Idaho, 5.51 ma plus or minus 0.13. Yellowstone Hotspot, Highest Volcanic Field, Idaho, 5.6 ma 500 cubic kilometers of Blue Creek tuff. Cerro Panizos, Altiplano Puna Volcanic Complex, Bolivia, 6.1 ma 652 cubic kilometers of Panizos ignimbrite. Yellowstone Hotspot, Highest Volcanic Field, Idaho, 6.27 ma plus or minus ±0.04. Yellowstone hotspot, highest volcanic field, Idaho. Blacktail caldera, Idaho, 6.62 Ma ±0.03, 1,500 cubic kilometers of blacktail tuff. Pastis Grans caldera, Altiplano Puna volcanic complex, Bolivia, 8.3 Ma, 652 cubic kilometers of siphonognym bright. Manus Island, Admiralty Islands, northern Papua New Guinea, 8 to 10 Ma. Banks Peninsula, New Zealand. Arkaroa erupted 9 Ma. Lyttelton erupted 12 Ma. Mascarene Islands were formed in a series of undersea volcanic eruptions 8 to 10 Ma as the African plate drifted over the Acute Union hotspot. Yellowstone hotspot, Twin Fall volcanic field, Idaho, 8.6 to 10 Ma. Yellowstone hotspot, Picabo volcanic field, Idaho, 10.21 Ma ±0.03. Mount Cargill, New Zealand. The last eruptive phase ended some 10 Ma. The center of the caldera is about Port Chalmers, the main port of the city of Dunedin. Yellowstone hotspot, Idaho. Bruno Garbage volcanic field, 10.0 to 12.5 Ma. Anaheim hotspot, British Columbia, Canada, has generated the Anaheim volcanic belt over the last 13 million years. Yellowstone hotspot, Oahe Humboldt volcanic field, Nevada, Oregon, around 12.8 to 13.9 Ma. Campi Flegrei, Naples, Italy, 14.9 Ma, 79 cubic kilometers of Neapolitan yellow tuff. While Ilizignim bright, Bolivia, southern Peru, northern Chile, 15 Ma ±1, 1,100 cubic kilometers of tephra. Yellowstone hotspot, McDermott volcanic field, Trout Creek Mountains, Whitehorse caldera, Oregon, 15 Ma, 40 cubic kilometers of Whitehorse Creek tuff. Yellowstone hotspot, Lake Oahe volcanic field, 15.0 to 15.5 Ma. Yellowstone hotspot, McDermott volcanic field, Jordan Meadow caldera, Nevada, Oregon, 15.6 Ma, 350 cubic kilometers Long Ridge tuff member 2 to 3. Yellowstone hotspot, McDermott volcanic field, Long Ridge caldera, Nevada, Oregon, 15.6 Ma, 400 cubic kilometers Long Ridge tuff member 5. Yellowstone hotspot, McDermott volcanic field, Calavera caldera, Nevada, Oregon, 15.7 Ma, 300 cubic kilometers of Double H tuff. Yellowstone hotspot, McDermott volcanic field, Hopin Peaks caldera, 16 Ma, Hopin Peaks tuff. Yellowstone hotspot, McDermott volcanic field, Trout Creek Mountains, Pueblo caldera, Oregon, 15.8 Ma, 40 cubic kilometers of Trout Creek Mountains tuff. Yellowstone hotspot, McDermott volcanic field, Washburn caldera, Nevada, Oregon, 16.548 Ma, 250 cubic kilometers of Oregon Canyon tuff. Yellowstone hotspot, Northwest Nevada volcanic field, Virgin Valley, High Rock, Hog Ranch, and unnamed calderas west of Pine Forest Range, Nevada, 15.5 to 16.5 Ma. Yellowstone hotspot, Steens and Columbia River flood basalts, Pueblo, Steens, and Malagorge region, Pueblo Mountains, Steens Mountain, Washington, Oregon, and Idaho, USA. Most vigorous eruptions were from 14 to 17 Ma, 180,000 cubic kilometers of lava. Mount Lindsay, Australia, is part of the remnants of the Nandawar extinct volcano that ceased activity about 17 Ma after 4 million years of activity. Oxyrhynchus brights, northern Chile, 19 Ma, 3,000 cubic kilometers of tephra. Pemberton volcanic belt was erupting about 21 to 22 Ma. Volcanism before the Neogene. Paleogene ends 23 million years ago. The formation of the Chilcotin group basalts occurs between 10–6 million years ago. The formation of the Columbia River basalt group occurs between 17 and 6 million years ago. La Garita caldera erupts in the Wheeler geologic area, central Colorado volcanic field, Colorado, USA. Eruption. Several VEI8 events. 5,000 cubic kilometers of Fish Canyon tuff was blasted out in a major single eruption about 27.8 million years ago. Unknown source in Ethiopia erupts 29 million years ago with at least 3,000 cubic kilometers of green tuff and Sam. Samignim-Bright in Yemen forms 29.5 million years ago. At least 5,550 cubic kilometers of distal tuffs associated with the ignimbrites. Jabal Qura ignimbrite in Yemen forms 29.6 million years ago. At least 3,700 cubic kilometers of distal tuffs associated with the ignimbrites. The Ethiopian highlands flood basalt begins 30 million years ago. About 33.9 million ago, the Oligocene epoch of the Paleogene period begins. The mid-tertiary ignimbrite flare-up begins 40 million years ago and lasts till 25 million years ago. Bennett Lake volcanic complex erupts 50 million years ago with the VEI7 850 cubic kilometers of tephra. Canary hotspot is believed to have first appeared about 60 million years ago. Formation of the Brito Arctic province begins 61 million years ago. Approximately 66 million years ago, the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event occurred. Our acute Union hotspot, Deccan Traps, India, formed between 60 and 68 million years ago, which are thought to have played a role in the KPG extinction. The Louisville hotspot has produced the Louisville Seamount chain. It is active for at least 80 million years. It may have originated the Ontong-Java Plateau around 120 million years ago. Hawaii hotspot Meiji Seamount is the oldest extant seamount in the Hawaiian Emperor Seamount chain, with an estimated age of 82 million years. The Kerguelen Plateau begins forming 110 million years ago. The Rajamal Traps form from 117–116 million years ago. The Ontong-Java Plateau forms from 125–120 million years ago. Parana and Atondeka Traps, Brazil, Namibia and Angola form 128–138 million years ago. Formation of the Karoo-Ferrier flood basalts begins 183 million years ago. The flood basalts of the Central Atlantic magmatic province are thought to have contributed to the Triassic-Jurassic extinction event about 199 million years ago. The Siberian traps are thought to have played a significant role in the Permian-Triassic extinction event 252 million years ago. Formation of the emission traps began 260 million years ago. The late Devonian extinction occurs about 374 million years ago. The Ordovician-Silurian extinction event occurs between 450 and 440 million years ago. Glencoe, Scotland, VEI8, 420 million years ago. Scorfells, Lake District, England, VEI8, Ordovician. The Phanerozoic Eon begins 542 million years ago. Mackenzie Large Igneous Province forms 1,270 million years ago. Mistacini Dike Swarm and Metashawan Dike Swarm form 2,500 million years ago. Blake River Megacaldera complex forms 2,704–2,707 million years ago. Approximately 2,500 million years ago, the Proterozoic eon of the Precambrian period begins. About 3,800 million years ago, the Archean eon of the Precambrian period begins.